is up? It's Bridechilla Live. It's Alicia. I'm Alicia, and I'm so happy to be here with you today, sharing some wedding planning knowledge, sharing some love, and hopefully solving a couple, if not a lot, of your wedding planning questions. If you have never seen this face before, well, I host the Bridechilla podcast. I'm up to episode 209 now, and the show is basically all about helping you plan a wedding, your wedding, in the most relaxed, chilled out way as humanly possible. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy. It's not always easy, but I really try and help you and guide you along the way to find the people, the places, the techniques, the schemes. Well, I was going to say scams, but not necessarily scams, to make everything run smoothly. So today, this is Bridechilla Live. This is where I hopefully answer a couple of your questions, talk a little bit about what is on the podcast, and also share some news about what is coming up. I've got so many wonderful Bridechilla and Groomchilla listeners out there, and each week on Thursdays, I do a Q&A Thursday, and that is where we are answering your questions. We as in me and my team of one. Well, actually, that's a lie. Today on the show, I featured my lovely friend, Alicia Poxrucker. And Alicia is a professional hair and makeup artist. I live in London, and Alicia also lives in London, but we know each other from way back when in Australia, where we were both working in the television industry over there. And she used to do my makeup quite regularly for the television when I was on it. So one of the questions that came through on Q&A Thursday came from Bridechilla Helen, who wanted to ask all about doing her own hair and makeup. Actually, I correct myself, just doing her own makeup. She's got a hairdresser to do her hair because, quite frankly, she said to us she was just not finding the person to do it the way she wanted it to be done. And I think makeup is one of those things. I love talking about hair and makeup because, as you can see, I worn my bright pink lip. I love a lip, and I love an eyeliner, and I love a good mascara. However, a lot of people, this is no judgment, a lot of people choose not to wear any makeup or just minimal makeup in their daily lives. I love playing with makeup. I love going to TK Maxx here. I think it's called TJ Maxx in the United States, but I love going and sifting through all of the makeup stuff and finding crazy colors and nail polish and all that sort of stuff. I don't wear it all the time. I think I just like to buy it because it makes me feel good. Consumerism much? But it's very understandable when it comes to your wedding day that you perhaps want to be wearing makeup, but you don't necessarily want to be looking like you're wearing so much makeup if that's not what you do in your real life. I use the quotes here because your wedding day obviously is your real life, but you don't necessarily want to be looking like, I always sort of say, a painted doll. If you don't want to look like Snooki, that's an old callback, I don't know where that came from, on your wedding day, I mean like old school Snooki, which was just like orange, a lot of this stuff going on, that is totally cool. So Helen sort of wrote to me and said, look, I've got a bit of a conundrum. I've trialed a couple of makeup artists, and each time it hasn't quite been right, and I'm really concerned about having to turn up on my wedding day and not be very happy about the way it all looks, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to be asking and a perfectly reasonable stance to have, especially when you've had a disappointing experience. So I think it's really important, if you are facing this conundrum, go to thebridechilla.com. That's my website. It's where you'll find out my stuff. And listen to today's episode because lovely Alicia, she gives some really solid advice about the importance, if you are going to see a professional hair and makeup artist, the importance of communicating with them and being open to telling them exactly what you want. And that may mean turning up with 5 dozen magazines. It might be creating a Pinterest board. It might be saying, here's a photograph of me taken a night that I look particularly sassy. I want to look just like this. And it's about being honest. Now, if you're like me, I've gone to the hairdresser so many times and sat there. Now, I'm a professional big mouth, might I add. But I have gone to the hairdresser and sat there and said, I would just trim a little tiny bit off the ends. Just trim a tiny little bit off the ends. And then the hairdresser goes, yep, sure, I'll just trim a tiny bit. And it's like, meh, meh. And you come out of there with the most, the shortest haircut. It's not what you want. It's not what you're after. And you leave going, I'm not going to cry in front of the hairdresser, but I really want to cry because it's not what I wanted. You do not want to have that experience on your wedding day. How many of you out there, if you are watching right now, you might be watching in the replay just nodding your head, if you are watching right now, have you had that experience at the hairdressers where you have asked for a certain style and come out with another style and you are too, I don't want to say shy, but maybe you're just feeling a little, you don't want to offend them because it's their work, they're doing the Edward Scissorhands stuff, but you're like, ugh, I hate this. Can I say I hate it? I don't know. Really? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Tell me, I want to feel your love here. Have you experienced that? I'm sure deep down you have. And this is no disrespect to hairdressers, because I've been to heaps of great hairdressers who absolutely do what you ask. Yeah, like every time. Trisha just replied, thank you, Trisha, like every time. So, Koala Mug, thank you. It's behind. I love it. The idea that you need to be able to really step up and communicate exactly what you want for your wedding day. This is very important. It's also very difficult for people that aren't used to saying, listen, this is exactly what I want and you're gonna do it. Because we're bridechillas, right? Because we are these people. We are bridechillas. We're not assholes. We're not jerks. It's about being able to communicate in a way that you aren't necessarily being rude to someone, but you are getting what you would like, because that's what you're paying for. And especially on your wedding day, you want to look how you want to look. Okay. So I would suggest you go back. Alicia, the lovely makeup artist, my friend, had some wonderful suggestions about how to communicate, how to make sure that what you are expressing is something they understand. And of course, that's what a trial is for. And as Helen said, look, she's had the trial, she wasn't very happy, and she had decided to perhaps do her own makeup, which is very controversial. Now, Laura has just written, I'm going to excuse myself here and read your comment. Laura says, I did a trial with my hair and makeup artist, and at the end of the day, I took some photos of how they this is a great suggestion, how they had worn throughout the day. I was just going to get to where, you beat me to it, you're very smart. She says, when on the day of the wedding, I showed the photos to my makeup artist, keep going here, Alicia, she made the changes that made me look fabulous. Great. I know my makeup looked heavy at first in person, but my photos looked gorgeous, and I looked like me, and I felt like the boss. That's exactly what I want to hear. And that's exactly the point that lovely Alicia makes in the podcast today, that she says, the thing about doing your own hair and makeup is, look at what I'm wearing now. This is what I literally just walked in the door. I have not redone anything except I've put a bit of a lip on. Let's go close. Let's not scare everyone. But look, my makeup's that line is not great. My foundation, I've touched my face so many times today, my foundation's come off, could do with a bit more rouge. It happens. And then throughout the day, you're going to be touching things, you're going to be moving, you're going to be kissing everyone, you're going to be kissing your fiance. It's just life. That's what's going to happen. So also, as Laura just said then, when you've got the wear and tear of the day, and also one thing about professional hair and makeup especially, is that you are dealing with lots of different light forms. You've got different angles. You've got photographs that, trust me, whenever I've had a headshot done, and I've had lots of headshots done in my time, and I can share a couple with you to show you in a studio environment, in an environment that's outside, one face of makeup looks very different in different circumstances. So if you're getting hitched in a church and then you're going to go and have some nighttime photos taken, you're like, whoa, crazy, things are going to look different. So it's a really good suggestion, Laura, that you have made here, that you take the photos, you wear the face of makeup throughout the day, see how it wears, and then you'll be able to communicate that with your hair and makeup artist. I don't want to give too much away about the show and Alicia's answer, but it's really worth listening to if you are in talks, if you are negotiating, if you are auditioning, if you are trialing a hair and makeup artist, I really think it's worth listening to. Also, the biggest suggestion I make constantly on the Bridechilla podcast is if you are looking for a hair and makeup artist, the biggest, easiest thing I would say to do is talk to a photographer. If you have already hired your photographer, and usually you would hire a photographer before a hair and makeup artist, photographers are pretty quick to say, look, don't go to Nancy. She does terrible makeup. Or I know a girl called Fiona. Or Trevor. I always go back to the name Trevor. He does amazing makeup and it's perfect for your wedding day. These are people, it's great when they work with people, they see how things look, how people look, and they can give you a bit of word of mouth. That is my suggestion to you. It's a big, brave world, especially if you aren't used to wearing a lot of makeup, but you can easily get the natural look. I don't know why I did that, but I mean, looks like you're not wearing a lot of makeup, but you're wearing a bit, and you're covering up a bit of this. You don't want it to look too more. And you can do that very easily with the help of a professional. That is what I'm going to say about makeup. I want to share with you this week, I was so excited. Last week ago, does that make any sense? Last week ago, not a real thing. Last week, I launched the Bridechilla Bloggers blog, which is not very well named. It's where I've basically asked you wonderful Bridechillas and Groomchillas to share your wedding planning journey with all of the rest of the Bridechilla community. And it has been so great to see your feedback, and so many people, like I have been completely inundated with offers of Bridechillas and Groomchillas saying, we'll write for you, we want to share our journey. And I just literally put this comment out on Facebook, and you'll see it if you are following this page, the Bridechilla page, follow it. You will see this notice saying, hey, would you like to write for me? Oh my goodness. I spent all last, look at me, I'm like an old lady. Oh my goodness. Spent all last weekend writing back to everyone, trying to get a system in place to organise it all. But I'll tell you what, some of the blogs that are coming through are supremo. They are really open, authentic, and I have learnt already so much from the lovely Bridechillas, and there's some Groomchillas coming who have written for the blog. So if you want to get in touch, if you would like to be a part of it, there's still time. It just might take me a little while to post them all. But it's great to hear all of your lovely stories and your experiences, because that's the beautiful thing about hosting this podcast. I meet so many people who have so many different stories. It is amazing. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm really enjoying this. If you are watching this in the replay, well, welcome. Thank you for watching in the replay. I know my time zones can clash a little bit. I'm living in London. I've got an Australian accent. That's because I'm from Australia. But I know a lot of my listeners, I know you might be in America. And it's probably not a convenient time when I'm broadcasting live to be talking to you. Maybe you're on your way home. Where are you all? People that are watching live, where are you? That's something I'm really interested in knowing. Right, don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm going to have a little sip of water. Look, that's not good. It's not very sexy. That's why you've got to trial a very good lipstick for your wedding day. I actually wore, I've still got it, which I know is probably bad, but I wore a bright red MAC lipstick on our wedding day, and that thing, it didn't budge. And I also used this special serum. California, thank you, Misty. Allison, South Carolina, good. Sneaking in at work, Trisha, Florida, you're so naughty. I love you. I used a little special serum, a sealer, over my lipstick, which I clearly haven't been using today because I just whipped it on. But that is a good tip if you are after, I don't mean to point at you, like it's very accusatory. If you are wearing a lipstick and you don't want to reapply it every 10 minutes, either buy a long-lasting lipstick and trial it out before the day. And also you can buy off Amazon a lipstick sealer, which is like basically it's a clear thing. I know I'm doing that. It's a clear thing. You wipe it on. You have to hold your mouth like this while you're waiting for it to dry. But then it's just on. You do get a little dry, so you can put a bit of a gloss over the top of it. But it's a very good suggestion. I am going to put a link to that thing, sealant. It's not called sealant, something else, in the notes of this broadcast. Personal note here. I've been getting lots of cellulite on my ass. Just want to say that. I've never really had it before. I don't want to be the person to go, I've never had cellulite before. So it's just, I don't know, I'm getting old. It's happening and I panicked. Now, I like a bit of exercise. If you've listened to the podcast, you know I like a beach body workout. I'm a subscriber to the beach body cult, whatever you want to call it. I love it. It's not a cult. It's great. And I've got a little on-demand thing on my iPhone. I can't show you now because I'm recording on my iPhone. But the on-demand thing just means you can push the button and you can do a workout whenever you want. So I get up in the morning, I do my workouts, and I feel like it keeps me younger. I'm really 55. I'm not. Deep squats. You said it, Alison. Deep squats. And that's what's good for the cellulite on the ass. But today, now this is what happens when you get dressed in front of the mirror and you're like, oh, Jesus, what's going on? It's all appeared. So I had a panic. And at work today, I did some Googling and I've purchased some items I wanted to share with you. The first, you're going to, Alison, I know it's all about moving. And I don't eat a lot of shit either. I really look after myself. But I read about you get one of these things, right? And then you just rub it all over your body. This is this, right? So I thought, okay, I can do that. Maybe I'll just do some gentle but harsh rubbings with this special device. I got it quite inexpensively. Maybe I'll use that to start with. Someone called it dry rubbing. Keep that moving. That's my first thing I bought. And then I read a little bit about using one of these. Now this is actually a very good thing. I should have bought one a long time ago. Not for cellulite, but just for general, you know, what's it called? Exercise. This is a foam roller. And this is like a crappy unboxing thing. It's a foot scrubber. Alison just said, lol, that looks like a foot scrubber. Actually, let's read the... I don't know what I had a little 5 minutes to... Before I was going to come home, I'll walk through TK Maxx. I think you call it TJ Maxx in America. It probably is a foot scrubber. I don't know. It's called a Bridechilla London. I don't know what that is. But anyway, it's got, look at those knobs. Anyway, I bought the foam roller, which actually, if you've never used a foam roller, they hurt like hell. But let me just rip it open, right? Look at this. And apparently, it's very good for stretching out. TJ Maxx, yes, you're right. Thank you very much, Alison. TK Maxx in England. Don't know what that's about. Maybe they couldn't get the J. So apparently you sit on it and you do some gentle rolling and you use it on the ground. And I've seen lots of my favourite trainers using one of these and I'm always like, I don't need one of those. But now, maybe I'll put it under my ass and it might delicately remove cellulite. I'm getting desperate. And then finally, with the trifecta of panic, is the idea, well, and let me just read. Laura just said, my foam roller is the best strange thing I've ever bought. Agree, they hurt and are also so worth it. Thank you. I'm so happy that you said that because I thought if I bought a fun coloured one, it might make me want to use it a little bit more. I don't know if that's the truth. Lastly, I then went and did something stupid and purchased, I have no affiliation with any of these products. This is not anything to do with paid. I bought some cellulite cream, which I know probably doesn't work, okay? I got sucked in, it wasn't expensive. I don't know what it's gonna do because cellulite's under your skin. So, you know, it smells fine. Actually it smells quite nice. Okay, so that's my trifecta of panic. That's called aging, guys. You're probably all very young and you're probably all looking after yourselves, but I panicked. So there we go. That's what my night's going to be like. Actually, I lie because I'm about to go and record a podcast interview with the lovely Rebecca from destinationweddings.com. And we are going to talk all about planning your honeymoon and or a destination wedding because I love hearing about all the bits and pieces that you've got to put in, all the ducks you've got to line up to get stuff working. Because I think it's sometimes hard enough to be planning a wedding just down the road, let alone in another country. So it's nice to have her back on. So I will be first interviewing her and then I'll be taking all of my anti-cellulite things and just having a deep scrub, possibly also, Alison, while doing some deep squats. And I'd say I'd like to keep you up to date, but I don't know if anyone else needs to see my ass besides Rich and potentially when I go to Hawaii in a couple of months, all of my family. So that's what I'm preparing for. I'll keep you updated. The thing is, this is not very scientific because if I'm using all of these things, I can't actually tell you, and deep squatting, if any of these things are going to work. So that had nothing to do with the Bridechilla podcast. I just wanted to share that with you because it's a bit silly. So, okay, look, I must depart very soon. Lastly, before I go, does anyone here have any questions that they would like to ask while we're live? If not, there's no problems. I'd love to see a couple of thumbs up if you're enjoying this. I'd love to see some, I don't know, hearts, some likes. You know what I'd love to see is some shares. Because you sharing these posts and you liking Bridechilla stuff, thank you guys, shares the word with other Bridechillas, and I know that people out there really enjoy being able to find the show, but it's sometimes hard because I'm a one-man band to get it out there. I don't have a big advertising budget or community, it's just me. Trisha says, honestly, the catalyst for me to be taking care of myself so well was a drunken breakdown because I couldn't fit into my wedding dress. Oh, Trisha, this is the thing, right? I really, and I should probably talk about health and fitness a little bit more, but I think it's also, like you said, it's a mindset. It's about looking after yourself. And I haven't really spoken about this very much, but over the last sort of 5 years, I've had a real body transformation, and not like, I've had a body transformation, I've lost all my body weight, sorry Americans, but I really changed my mindset about looking after this thing here, this vessel, and I feel so much better for it. And it's not, I know I dick around with my bloody cellulite, but I think I work really hard for my health and my well-being. And like this morning I got up and I did some yoga because I went, Alicia, you're stressed off your nuts, you need to just relax. You don't need to do hardcore cardio, although, as we've just said, we love a deep squat. They're very good for your ass. But also, it's really good to actually go, breathe, do some stretches. And also, yoga, my God, you can really get fit off doing yoga. It's not all just lying on the ground or doing mountain. I love mountain because it's just standing. It's like tree. But, I think really when I made the decision to look after myself, and I wasn't going crazy not looking after myself, but I did love a wine. I still love a wine. I love a champs. But I probably loved it a little bit too much. And also I loved a Kit Kat, which I still love, but I don't need to eat a Kit Kat every day. I'm not about depravity and depriving myself, but I am about just taking it up a notch and thinking, well, I'm only going to be 35 once, unless there is, I don't know, some sort of time travel stuff. So I just think to, find that focus. And if it is about fitting into your wedding dress, if it is about looking your best, quote unquote, then I think it's a great impetus and it's a great opportunity to do it. It doesn't mean you have to go cray-craze. It doesn't mean you have to lose a ton of weight, because I think that people that look like Skeletor on their wedding day, that's not great either, because you don't want to look back. It's like the makeup thing. You don't want to look back and go, gosh, I don't look like me. Just look after yourself. Just look after yourself. That's my message for you today. Just look after yourself. Buy a foam roller, get some cellulite cream, and have a great time. Ugh, yuck. Look, it's been great to share this time with you. Really, I love hearing from you. So if you have a question, if you're a bit shy, don't be shy. It's just me. It really is just me. If you have a question about your wedding, if you would like to get involved with the Bridechilla community, it is so fun to see you interacting with each other on Facebook and Instagram. I've been doing a lot of Instagram storying. So if you like to have a little snoop into our world, that would be where I would say it's best to snoop. Follow me on Instagram. It's just Alicia McCormack. I'll put it in the link. And also, can I just ask you, if you're not subscribing to my newsletter, and it's not like a boring newsletter, it's a fun newsletter, but it's where I can really let loose and share some stuff with you, a little bit like this, but in writing form. Can I invite you to subscribe? Free. I'm not going to spam you. I don't share your shit with anyone else. It's just for me and you, and it's a great way to connect with the Bridechilla community and also let you know about some fun stuff I've got coming up. I'm really retooling this whole business. Is it a business at the moment? I don't know what it is. The Bridechilla podcast is going to be having some little gentle molding, and I need your help, and I need you to participate, really, because you guys make the whole show. I wouldn't be 209 episodes in without the people watching right now. So it's very important that you jump on board. Visit thebridechilla.com. That's where you can contact me, send me a message, send me a voice message. I love hearing your voice. And get in touch. Finally, Trisha says, I have been such a wedding lifesaver in my wedding planning. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. She's getting married on October the 21st, and so glad I found you. Thank you. And I'm so glad you found me too. And I'm so glad you've been here today watching me. It's been very fun. Sarah says she applied for our marriage license today. Getting so real. Sarah, when are you getting hitched? This is very exciting. You guys, this is so soon. So soon. More water. Hydration, apparently very good for cellulite. Well, whenever you are getting married, Sarah, I wish you all the best. You bride chillers. You are all bride chillers and groom chillers. And I know that you can keep your cool, keep your calm. And make sure when you do get hitched, I know after the wedding, the last thing you're thinking about is weddings, but share some photos with me. I love, it's water. I love sharing, promise. I love sharing all of your your photos with the community, because it's nice to see an end point or a beginning point. It is water. Alison just asked if it was wine. No, I've just literally walked in the door and I've got to do an interview. I can't drink an interview. I'm very professional. After I do my rolling and things afterwards, I might have a vodka soda to end the night. Vodka's good, no sugar. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking this post/broadcast. I love doing Bridechilla Lives, and I've got lots more fun things up my sleeve. It's like a threat. Until next time, my pretties. Sounds a little creepy. Bye, roller. Bye.